The tiny puppy had already disappeared beneath the floodwater until one desperate cry changed everything. Rain pounded the small American town without mercy. It had been falling for 3 straight days. The rivers overflowed. The streets became rivers. Cars floated away like toys. Tree branches snapped in the howling wind. Emergency sirens echoed across the valley. Families rushed to higher ground carrying only what they could hold. No one knew when the rain would stop. No one knew what would still be standing when it did. Among the rescue volunteers was 28-year-old Ethan Carter. He had worked with local emergency rescue teams for years. He had seen fires, he had seen storms, he had rescued families trapped by hurricanes. But floods were different. Floods hid danger beneath muddy water. Every step could be the wrong one. That morning, Ethan tightened the straps on his life jacket. His teammate Maria scanned each rooftop through binoculars. "House on the left is clear." Ethan nodded. "Move forward." The engine hummed softly. Rain tapped against their helmets. The smell of gasoline mixed with muddy water. Everywhere they looked, memories floated away. Family photographs, blankets, broken furniture, a teddy bear. An old American flag drifted slowly beside the boat. Nobody spoke. They all knew every object belonged to someone who might still need help. Hours passed. The team rescued an elderly couple trapped inside an attic, then a frightened little boy holding his grandmother's hand, then a family of 4 waving white towels from a rooftop. Each rescue brought relief, but there was never time to celebrate. The radio crackled again. "Sector 12 still needs to be searched." Ethan grabbed the microphone. "Copy that." The boat turned towards another flooded neighborhood. The rain grew heavier. Dark clouds swallowed the afternoon sky. Thunder rolled across the distance. Lightning flashed behind the hills. Maria pointed ahead. "The current is getting stronger." Ethan slowed the engine. The water rushed between houses like a river. Floating debris slammed into fences. Entire trees drifted past. Suddenly, something caught Ethan's attention. He lifted one hand. "Stop." Maria looked around. "What is it?" "I heard something." The engine fell silent. Only rain, wind, thunder. Nothing else. Maria listened. "I don't hear anything." Maybe he imagined it. Maybe exhaustion was playing tricks on him. The engine started again. Then, a tiny sound, almost impossible to hear. A weak yip. Ethan froze. There. Everyone stayed perfectly still. Again. Yip. Small, broken, barely alive. Maria whispered, "A puppy." The sound came and went between gusts of wind. Ethan searched every direction. Nothing. Only dirty floodwater, floating branches, broken fences. The cry came once more, this time louder. It was coming from beneath a collapsed wooden porch. Half of the structure had fallen into the water. The remaining beams shook every time the current pushed against them. "It could collapse," Maria warned. Ethan stared at the porch. "If something's alive under there, we can't leave." He secured a safety rope around his waist. Another volunteer tied the other end to the rescue boat. "You've got 2 minutes. No unnecessary risks." Ethan nodded. The water was freezing. He stepped carefully into the current. Instantly, the force of the flood shoved against his legs. Every movement required effort. Mud swirled around him. Hidden objects bumped against his boots. He reached the broken porch. The wood creaked. Rainwater dripped through the shattered floorboards. The puppy cried again. Closer now. Ethan dropped to one knee. "Easy, buddy." No answer. Only another tiny whimper. He shined his flashlight beneath the wreckage. At first, nothing. Then he saw them. 2 tiny eyes, filled with fear. A soaked golden puppy trembled on top of a floating wooden board. The little animal couldn't have been more than 8 weeks old. Its fur was covered with mud. Its body shook uncontrollably. One wrong wave would wash it away forever. The puppy looked at Ethan, not with anger, not with panic, just pure exhaustion, as if it had already given up. Ethan's heart sank. "It's okay," he whispered. "I'm here." He slowly reached his hand forward. The puppy didn't move. Another loud crack echoed overhead. The porch shifted several inches. Maria shouted from the boat. The rescue boat rocked violently as Ethan climbed aboard. His breathing was heavy. Cold water poured from his rescue jacket. Everyone rushed toward him. "You okay?" Maria asked. Ethan nodded without speaking. His eyes never left the tiny puppy in his arms. The little golden pup was completely soaked. Its body trembled nonstop. Its tiny chest rose and fell in quick, shallow breaths. Its eyes were half closed. It looked too weak to cry anymore. Maria quickly wrapped the puppy inside a dry rescue blanket. "Oh, sweetheart." The puppy barely moved. One volunteer opened a small emergency medical kit. Another handed Ethan a bottle of warm water. "You almost drowned," the volunteer said. Ethan gave a tired smile. "Worth it." The puppy slowly opened one eye. For just a second, it looked directly at Ethan. Its tiny tail gave the smallest twitch. Then it rested its head against his arm. No one on the boat said a word. Even in the middle of the storm, that silent moment meant everything. The radio suddenly came alive. "Eagle Team, do you copy?" Maria grabbed the microphone. "Go ahead." "A family of 3 is trapped 2 blocks east. Water is rising fast." "We're on our way." The engine roared back to life. The boat pushed through floating debris. Rain hit harder than ever. The wind screamed between flooded houses. The puppy remained wrapped inside Ethan's jacket. Every few minutes, Ethan gently rubbed its tiny body to keep it warm. "Stay with me," he whispered. "You've fought too hard." The puppy didn't answer, but it didn't let go of Ethan's sleeve either. 20 minutes later, the rescue team reached a 2-story house. A frightened mother stood on the roof. She held a little girl close to her chest. Beside them stood an older man waving both arms. "The stairs collapsed," the mother shouted. "We can't get down." The current smashed against the house. Each wave shook the building. Ethan and Maria moved quickly. Within minutes, the little girl was safely inside the rescue boat. Then her mother, finally the grandfather. The little girl noticed the blanket beside Ethan. "Is that a puppy?" Ethan smiled. "It sure is." The girl carefully reached out one finger. The puppy slowly lifted its nose. Then, for the first time, it gave a tiny lick. The little girl laughed through her tears. "I think he likes me." Everyone smiled. For just one moment, the storm didn't feel so frightening. As evening approached, the rain finally began to weaken. Gray clouds still covered the sky, but the thunder became quieter. The rescue teams returned to the emergency shelter set up inside the local high school gymnasium. Hundreds of people filled the building. Children slept on folding cots. Volunteers served hot soup. Doctors treated injuries. Blankets covered nearly every corner. The smell of coffee mixed with wet clothes and disinfectant. It wasn't home, but it was safe. Ethan carried the puppy inside. A veterinarian volunteer hurried over. "What do we have here?" Ethan answered softly, "A flood survivor." The veterinarian carefully examined the tiny animal. She checked its heartbeat, its breathing, its paws, its eyes. After several long minutes, she smiled. "He's exhausted. He has mild hypothermia, a few scratches, but, she looked at Ethan, he's going to make it. A wave of relief washed over the entire room. Ethan closed his eyes for a second. He hadn't realized how tightly he had been holding his breath. The puppy was placed inside a warm crate with soft towels. A heating pad rested beneath the blankets. A tiny bowl of water sat nearby. For several minutes, nothing happened. Then, the puppy slowly stood up. Its legs wobbled. It took one step, then another. Finally, it walked toward Ethan, ignoring everyone else, ignoring the food, ignoring the warm bed. It pressed its tiny body against Ethan's boot. The shelter became completely quiet. Maria laughed softly. "Well, I guess you've been adopted." Ethan smiled. "I think he adopted me." The volunteers laughed. Even after the terrifying day, hope had found its way into the room. Later that night, most of the shelter was asleep. Rain tapped gently against the windows. Generators hummed outside. Emergency lights glowed across the gym. Ethan sat beside the puppy's crate. The little dog was finally sleeping peacefully. Its breathing had become slow and steady. For the first time, it looked safe. Ethan noticed something around the puppy's neck, hidden beneath muddy fur. A worn blue collar. He carefully cleaned away the dirt. A small metal tag appeared. The writing was scratched, almost impossible to read. He rubbed it gently. Only one word remains clear. Buddy. So that's your name. Buddy. The puppy opened one sleepy eye. Its tiny tail tapped softly against the blanket. Then it fell asleep again. Ethan smiled. "You don't have to be afraid anymore. I'll help you find your family." Outside, the floodwaters still covered the town. Many homes were gone. Many people were still missing. And somewhere beyond the dark water, someone might be desperately searching for a little golden puppy named Buddy. Ethan looked through the rain-covered window. He made a silent promise. No matter how long it takes, we're going to get you home. He had no idea that promise was about to lead him into the biggest emotional journey of his life. Morning arrived quietly. For the first time in 4 days, the rain had stopped. The sky was still gray, but a few rays of sunlight finally broke through the clouds. The flooded town looked different. The water still covered streets and yards. Boats replaced cars. Broken trees lay everywhere. Homes were scarred with mud. Silence filled the air. The storm had moved on. Its damage had not. Ethan stepped outside the emergency shelter. Buddy trotted beside him. The little puppy was still weak, but he looked much better. His golden fur had been washed clean. His bright brown eyes watched everything. Every sound, every face, every passing rescue truck. Buddy stayed close to Ethan's boots, as if he were afraid to lose him again. Maria smiled. "Looks like you've got a shadow." Ethan laughed. "I don't think he's leaving anytime soon." Buddy wagged his tail for the first time. Not much, just enough to make everyone smile. The rescue operation continued. Helicopters flew overhead. National Guard vehicles rolled through the muddy streets. Volunteers carried boxes of food and clean water. Neighbors helped neighbors. Strangers hugged each other. Some people cried as they looked at what remained of their homes. Others simply stood in silence, trying to understand what had happened. Ethan kept looking around. Every family he met, he asked the same question. "Have you seen this puppy before?" Most people gently shook their heads. "I'm sorry. I wish I had." "No." Buddy looked up each time, his ears perked with hope, then slowly lowered again. Later that afternoon, a temporary pet rescue center opened inside the town library. Dozens of rescued animals had been brought there: dogs, cats, a frightened rabbit, even 2 parrots. Each animal waited for someone familiar to walk through the door. Buddy carefully looked at every dog he passed. Some barked, some whimpered, some were too tired to move. A gray Labrador sniffed Buddy's nose through a kennel door. Buddy wagged his tail politely, but he kept walking, almost as if he knew he was searching for someone else. Inside the library, volunteers posted photographs of rescued pets on a large bulletin board. Found, one picture after another. Families stopped to look. Some smiled through tears. Others quietly walked away. Ethan asked one volunteer, "Can we put Buddy's picture up?" Of course. The volunteer grabbed a camera. Buddy sat perfectly still. His little blue collar rested around his neck. Click. The photo was printed. A sign was placed beneath it. Found golden puppy, blue collar. Answers to the name Buddy. Found during the flood. Contact Flood Animal Rescue Center. Ethan stared at the picture. I hope someone sees this. Hours passed. No one came. As evening approached, the shelter became quieter. Buddy curled beside Ethan's chair. His tiny head rested on Ethan's boot. Every few minutes, he looked toward the entrance, waiting, watching, hoping. Each time the door opened, his ears stood tall, then slowly fell again. Just before sunset, an elderly woman entered the library. Her clothes were muddy, her hands trembled slightly. She carried several old photographs. She walked from kennel to kennel, looking carefully at every animal. When she reached Buddy, she suddenly stopped. Tears filled her eyes. Buddy slowly stood. His tail moved, just once. The woman whispered, "Buddy?" The puppy tilted his head. He took one cautious step forward, then another. Ethan held his breath. Was this his family? The woman knelt down. Her hands shook as she reached toward him. Buddy sniffed her fingers. For a long moment, no one moved. Then, Buddy gently licked her hand. The woman burst into tears. "Oh, God!" She hugged the little puppy. Everyone nearby smiled. Maria quietly wiped away a tear. Ethan felt his heart lift. Maybe this was the happy ending. Maybe Buddy had finally found his home. But after a few seconds, something changed. Buddy slowly backed away. He didn't bark. He didn't whimper. He simply walked back and sat beside Ethan. The elderly woman looked confused. She smiled sadly. I guess he's not my Buddy after all." She opened one of the photographs she had been carrying. It showed another golden puppy, almost identical, but slightly older. My Buddy disappeared 6 months before the flood. I still keep looking. The room became silent. Ethan gently placed a hand on her shoulder. I hope you find him someday. She nodded. So do I. Before leaving, she bent down and softly scratched the rescued puppy behind the ears. Someone out there loves you. I know they're looking. Then she quietly walked away. Buddy watched her leave. His ears lowered, almost as if he understood her sadness. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the promise he had made. Somewhere, someone might still be searching. Someone might believe Buddy had been lost forever. He opened his laptop. He uploaded Buddy's photo to every local lost pet page he could find. He shared it with rescue organizations, animal shelters, volunteer groups, neighbors, anyone who might recognize the little puppy. Within hours, hundreds of people shared Buddy's picture. Messages began arriving across the state. I've seen a puppy like this. Could he be from River Street? I'll ask my neighbor. Hope spread faster than the floodwaters ever had. Ethan smiled at the sleeping puppy beside him. We're getting closer, Buddy. He didn't know it yet, but one message waiting in his inbox the next morning would change everything. The next morning, Ethan woke before sunrise. The emergency shelter was already busy. Volunteers unpacked fresh supplies. Doctors checked on injured residents. Coffee brewed in large metal containers. Outside, helicopters rumbled across the pale morning sky. Buddy stretched, yawned, and trotted over to Ethan. His tail wagged a little faster than yesterday. It was the first real sign that he was beginning to feel like himself again. Ethan smiled. "Good morning, Buddy." The puppy answered with a soft bark, a tiny sound, but full of life. Ethan opened his laptop. Dozens of new messages had arrived overnight. Most were kind words. Some offered donations. Others shared Buddy's photo again. Then, one message caught his attention. The subject line read, "I think I know this puppy." Ethan clicked it immediately. The message was short. "My name is Sarah Mitchell. I live about 30 miles north of your town. The puppy in your photo looks exactly like one that belonged to my neighbor. Their home was destroyed by the flood. I haven't seen them since the evacuation. I don't know if this is their dog, but I thought you should know." Below was the message, and a blurry photo. Ethan leaned closer. The picture showed a smiling young boy sitting on a front porch. A golden puppy rested in his lap. The puppy wore a faded blue collar. Buddy's blue collar. Ethan's heartbeat quickened. "Maria!" She hurried over. "What happened?" He turned the screen toward her. "I think we finally have our first real lead." An hour later, the rescue team loaded their boat. Roads leading to the neighborhood were still underwater. Driving wasn't possible. The only way in was through the flood. Buddy climbed into the boat without hesitation. He sat beside Ethan, watching the water, watching the sky, almost as if he knew they were getting closer to something important. The engine started. The boat glided across the flooded streets. The storm had passed, but the damage seemed even worse in daylight. Entire homes had been ripped from their foundations. School buses leaned against trees. Street signs pointed in impossible directions. Mud covered everything. The town looked unfamiliar, like a place the flood had tried to erase. After nearly an hour, the team reached the neighborhood from the message. Most of the homes were empty. Some had collapsed completely. Others stood with shattered windows and broken roofs. The address led to a small white house, or what remained of it. Half of the roof had disappeared. The front porch was gone. Mud stained every wall. The yard was buried beneath broken branches. Buddy stood up. His ears lifted. He sniffed the air. Then, without warning, he jumped from the boat. "Buddy!" Ethan leaped after him. The shallow water splashed around their legs. Buddy ran as fast as his tiny body could carry him, straight toward the damaged house. He stopped near a broken oak tree. Its roots had been torn from the ground. Beneath the branches lay something small, a red rubber ball. Old, covered in mud. Buddy barked excitedly. He nudged the ball with his nose, then looked back at Ethan. Again and again, his tail wagged wildly. "You recognize it, don't you?" Ethan whispered. Buddy picked up the ball gently. For the first time since the rescue, he looked genuinely happy, as if one tiny piece of his old life had survived. Footsteps echoed nearby. An elderly man approached slowly through the mud. He carried a shovel over his shoulder. He stopped when he saw Buddy. His eyes widened. "I know that dog." Ethan turned. "You do?" The man nodded. "I used to see him every morning. He belonged to the family across the street." Ethan's heart skipped. "Where are they now?" The man's smile faded. "I don't know. They evacuated during the flood. I haven't seen them since the evacuation." He looked toward the ruined neighborhood. Everyone was separated. Some went to different shelters, some stayed with relatives. No one really knows. Buddy walked over to the man. The man knelt down and gently scratched behind his ears. "Hey there, little guy. I remember you chasing squirrels." Buddy wagged his tail, then looked around the empty street, searching, waiting. The elderly man pointed toward a mailbox lying in the mud. The family's last name was... He paused, trying to remember. Then it came to him. Harrison. Ethan quickly wrote it down. Harrison. At last, they had more than hope. They had a name, a real family, a real trail. Maria smiled. Now we know where to start. As the team prepared to leave, Buddy suddenly stopped. He stared at the broken front door of the ruined house. He didn't bark. He didn't move. He simply watched, as if someone was expecting to walk outside. Minutes passed. Nothing happened. A gentle breeze moved through the broken trees. Buddy slowly lowered his head. Ethan knelt beside him. He softly placed a hand on Buddy's back. "We're not giving up, I promised." Buddy leaned against him. The promise still stood, and now it finally had a direction. But neither of them knew that the Harrison family had been searching for Buddy every single day. And at that very moment, only a few miles away, a young boy refused to believe his best friend was gone forever. The same morning, just a few miles away, inside another emergency shelter, a 10-year-old boy sat quietly on a folding cot. His name was Noah Harrison. Around him, people talked softly. Children played with donated toys. Volunteers served warm pancakes and coffee. But Noah barely noticed any of it. He stared at the small blue leash in his hands. It was muddy. The metal clip was scratched. He rubbed it gently with his thumb, as if it were the most valuable thing he owned. His mother, Emily, sat beside him. She placed a hand on his shoulder. "You should eat something." Noah slowly shook his head. "I'm not hungry." His father, Daniel, walked over carrying 3 paper cups of hot chocolate. He handed one to Noah. "You need your strength, buddy." Noah accepted it politely, but he never took a sip. Instead, he whispered, "What if Buddy is cold?" The question hung in the air. Neither parent knew how to answer. 3 days earlier, when the floodwaters rushed into their neighborhood, everything happened in minutes. The family grabbed emergency bags. Daniel carried important documents. Emily held their youngest daughter, Lily. Noah ran back into the house, not for toys, not for clothes, for Buddy. The puppy had been sleeping under the kitchen table, but before Noah reached him, a powerful wave crashed through the back door. Furniture slammed across the room. The current knocked Noah backward. Daniel pulled him outside just in time. As the rescue boat drifted away, Noah screamed Buddy's name over and over. The puppy's frightened bark disappeared into the storm. That sound haunted Noah every night. Since then, every morning began the same way. Noah walked to the bulletin board filled with photos of rescued pets. Every morning, he searched every picture. Every afternoon, he asked the volunteers the same question: "Has anyone found a golden puppy with a blue collar?" Every evening, the answer was the same: "I'm sorry, we haven't." Still, he refused to give up. Back at the flood zone, Ethan couldn't stop thinking about the name Harrison. He contacted every emergency shelter in the county. Most had no records. Some were still organizing evacuee lists. Hours passed, one shelter after another. Nothing. Then Maria rushed toward him holding a clipboard. "Ethan," she pointed to a registration list. "Harrison family." Ethan's eyes widened. "Where?" "Riverside Community Shelter, about 40 minutes from here." His heart raced. "Let's go." The rescue truck rolled onto the highway. Floodwaters still covered parts of the road. National Guard vehicles passed in opposite directions. Utility crews repaired fallen power lines. The town slowly came back to life. Buddy sat quietly in the passenger seat. His nose rested against the window, watching, waiting. almost as if he felt something drawing him forward. Meanwhile, at Riverside Shelter, Noah sat outside near the entrance. He watched every rescue vehicle that arrived, every truck, every van, every boat. His little sister, Lily, walked over carrying a stuffed rabbit. "Do you think Buddy misses us?" Noah smiled sadly. "I know he does." "Then why hasn't he come home?" He looked towards the cloudy sky. "Because he doesn't know where we are." A volunteer approached Noah. "There are more rescued animals arriving today." His heart jumped. "Really?" The volunteer nodded. "We're setting up another reunion area." Noah stood immediately. Hope returned to his eyes. He had felt disappointed before, many times, but hope always came back. 40 minutes later, Ethan's truck pulled into the shelter parking lot. Buddy suddenly lifted his head. His ears stood straight. His nose twitched rapidly. He sniffed the air again. Then he barked, once, twice, 3 times. Not frightened, excited, very excited. Ethan looked down. "What is it, Buddy?" The puppy jumped against the passenger door. His tail wagged harder than ever before. He scratched gently at the window. Maria smiled. "I've never seen him act like this." Ethan slowly opened the truck door. The moment Buddy's paws touched the ground, he froze. His ears perked forward. Then he took off, running straight across the parking lot, past volunteers, past rescue tents, past stacks of bottled water. "Ethan!" Maria shouted. Buddy never looked back. At that exact moment, Noah stepped outside the shelter carrying the blue leash. He heard barking, a bark he'd dreamed about every single night. He stopped walking. His heart pounded. "No," he whispered. "It can't be." Again, the bark echoed across the parking lot, closer this time. Noah slowly turned towards the sound. A small golden puppy raced through the crowd as fast as his tiny legs could carry him. The distance between them grew shorter. 20 yards, 15, 10, 5. Noah's eyes filled with tears. "Buddy," he whispered. The puppy let out one joyful bark, then leapt into the boy's arms. End of part 5. For one perfect moment, the world stood still. Noah fell to his knees. Buddy crashed into his arms with all the strength his tiny body had. The puppy licked Noah's face again and again. His tail wagged so hard that his whole body shook. "Buddy!" Noah cried through his tears. "I knew you were alive. I knew you would come back." Buddy answered with happy little barks. He buried his nose against Noah's chest. He refused to let go. People nearby stopped what they were doing. Volunteers smiled. Rescue workers quietly watched. Some wiped tears from their eyes. Even strangers could feel it. This wasn't just a reunion. It was a family becoming whole again. Emily heard Noah shouting. She rushed outside. "What's wrong?" Then she saw them. Her son, holding Buddy. For a second, she couldn't move. Her hands covered her mouth. "Oh my goodness!" Tears streamed down her face. Daniel followed a few seconds later. He looked across the parking lot, his eyes locked on the little golden puppy. He whispered, "He made it." Emily ran forward. Buddy recognized her immediately. He jumped from Noah's arms and raced to her. She knelt in the middle of the parking lot and hugged him tightly. "We missed you so much. We never stopped looking." Buddy covered his hands with grateful kisses. Then he ran back to Noah, then to Daniel, then to little Lily. He greeted each member of the family as if he were making sure they were all truly there, safe, together, home. Only then did Noah notice Ethan standing nearby. Buddy ran to Ethan too. He wagged his tail and gently rested his head against his leg, almost as if he wanted to introduce his rescuer to his family. Noah looked at Ethan. Was it you? Ethan smiled. I just happened to hear someone crying for help. Noah hugged Buddy even tighter. You saved my best friend, his voice cracked. I don't know how to thank you. Ethan knelt beside him. You don't have to. I promised Buddy I'd help him find his family. I'm just glad I could keep that promise. Daniel stepped forward. He reached out his hand. Instead, he pulled Ethan into a hug. A handshake isn't enough. You risked your life for someone else's dog. You gave our family hope when we had almost none. Emily nodded through tears. You saved more than a puppy. You helped save our little boy's heart. Noah smiles shyly. It's true. I couldn't stop thinking about Buddy. I thought maybe he was scared. Ethan looked down at the puppy. He was scared, but he never gave up, and neither did you. Later that afternoon, the shelter organized a small celebration. Nothing fancy, just coffee, cookies, and grateful smiles. Children laughed as Buddy chased a tennis ball across the grass outside. Only a few days earlier, he had been trapped beneath a collapsing porch. Now, he was running through the sunshine. His golden fur shimmered in the light. His joyful bark echoed across the shelter grounds. It sounded completely different now. Not frightened, not lonely, happy, free. Before leaving, Noah walked over to Ethan. He held something in his hands, the old blue collar. He said, We bought Buddy a new one, but I want you to keep this. Ethan looked surprised. I can't. You should. Noah smiled. When I look at the new collar, I'll remember Buddy. When you look at this one, you'll remember the day you saved him. Ethan accepted it carefully. I'll treasure it. Always. Buddy gave one happy bark, almost as if he agreed. Weeks passed. The floodwaters slowly disappeared. Neighbors rebuilt homes together. Volunteers planted new trees. Children returned to school. Life wasn't exactly the same, but hope had returned. One Saturday morning, Ethan received a letter. Inside was a family photograph. Noah, Emily, Daniel, Lily, and Buddy sitting proudly in the middle. On the back, Noah had written, Dear Ethan, Buddy still sleeps beside my bed every night. Whenever it rains, he comes a little closer. I think he remembers. So do we. Thank you for bringing our family back together. You'll always be part of Buddy's story. Ethan smiled as he folded the letter. He placed it beside the blue collar in a small wooden box. Some memories were too precious to hide. Months later, a new playground stood where floodwater had once rushed through the neighborhood. Children laughed. Parents talked. Buddy chased butterflies while Noah threw a tennis ball. That afternoon, Ethan visited. Buddy recognized him instantly. He sprinted across the park and jumped into his arms. Nothing had changed. Love remembered. Kindness lasted. And one brave act had created a friendship that would live for a lifetime. Sometimes, the smallest cry in the darkest storm leads to the brightest ending. Because every life matters. Every act of kindness matters. And sometimes, saving one frightened little animal can heal an entire family.